First of all, we need to figure out what the telephony part in all the integrations with the Microsoft Teams are. You have direct routing, which is one of two solutions that works for the Microsoft Digital Contact Center platform. If you are running dynamic sales and want to do the Teams integration, well, then you can use whatever call types that you want. For example, direct routing, Microsoft calling plans, Teams for mobile. Welcome. This session is about Dynamics 365, which I actually know nothing about, but I can do all the integrations. My name is Kai Stenberg. I'm a Teams MVP. I work for a company named Blink in Norway, and I run some podcasts, a Norwegian one, and also write international blogs and everything. And if you want to listen or to check the podcast, please check out Teams Castaway, and you find it in Spotify or anywhere else that you are listening to podcasts. All my slide decks from earlier speaks and so on are also shared at my account on SlideShare, and you will find everything that I publish regarding to presentations and everything there as well. So the agenda for today is, first of all, we're going to start to speak about how to integrate Microsoft Teams into dynamic sales. What are the difference between several obstacles and solutions for Dynamics? Then, of course, we will run a demo from the dynamic sales. Then I'm going to speak about how to integrate the voice part into the Microsoft Dynamics customer service Omnichannel part. Then probably do a demo there as well if everything works. Then we are also going to jump into a kind of new area for me, which is Dynamics 365 marketing, and see how the Teams integration there works, because that's slightly different than a Dynamics sales integration or the Omnichannel integration. The Omnichannel part is nowadays also called the Microsoft Digital Contact Center platform. I'm going to explain a little bit of that as well. Then, of course, there are some bugs out there, and then we're going to see for all the tools and everything. And then, of course, we have some questions and for the Q&A afterwards. And I will try to do all this in about 30 minutes. First of all, we need to figure out what the telephony part in all the integrations with the Microsoft Teams are. You have direct routing, which is one of two solutions that works for the Microsoft Digital Contact Center platform. If you are running dynamic sales and want to do the Teams integration, well, then you can use whatever call types that you want. For example, direct routing, Microsoft calling plans, Teams for mobile, and Operator Connect. It doesn't matter what type of solutions you do for the sales part. The direct routing part is that you have this Teams user out here. Then you have the PBX virtual. Then, of course, you connect to a session border controller, which either your telco has or you have it in your data center, or you have bought it from a Microsoft partner or whatever. Then you will get the possibility to dial to an external number. All this requires also licenses for every calling part that Microsoft provides into the Teams solution. So if we look at the dynamic sales, start with the easiest one. This is way easy to do. What you actually do is that you reuse your phone system integration that you have in Teams. You just turn it on, then you add it to the application which your sales members are a part of. Then what happens is something like this. Let me show you the right window. Yes, here we are in the Dynamic Sales Hubs. What I actually do is in App Settings. As you can see, I have Teams calls. And what I actually choose is this setting. Then the backend work. Then I turn on the features, Teams calls. Answering incoming calls, I turn it on. The new function, transfer calls in preview. Yeah, sure, why not? So I can consult and transfer calls to other specified people in my sales teams. And I also put it to these two Dynamics 365 apps, the Sales Member and the Sales Hub. Now you see that I'm in the Sales Hub. I can, of course, choose other applications here as well. And then, of course, I can put on recording and transcripts of the calls that arrives to the system. When all this is done, I actually can jump back into the sales application, and then after 20 minutes or something, so that the whole backend has rolled out, I will get these two symbols. The first symbols here is the chat. As you can see, I can chat here with internal and external people, precisely as you do from your Teams client. I can also put up phone calls. And for example, if I call someone here, let's call, I can search within my Teams, of course, but I can also search in my contact lists and everything. I can just type in, for example, a phone number here, and when I press calls, it starts to ring.
Velkommen til kvalitetsmonitor IPT, hvor du kan teste talekvalitet og TTF. Les inn en melding etter.
And in here we can get all this, now I call the local Norwegian test number to test the functions. But I can also get transcripts, everything, recording. I can have everything put into the call activity for the customers and everything. I can also connect the record of the calls. And of course, I can see who called, the phone number, and everything regarding it into the customer. I can also directly from my contact cards, I can, from the contacts cards, just click on the phone number and then call out and then have a conversation with someone. And of course, when I'm calling out, and this is very important, when you call out from the Dynamic Sales, you use your phone number that you have in your Teams client. If you look, for example, in my Teams client, I have this phone number here, which happens to be my work number. I can, if someone calls this number, my cell phone also starts to ring, but you can manipulate what number you are going to show out. For example, if you are using direct routing, you can, for example, show your mobile number. If you are using Operator Connect with or the Teams mobile integration, you can then show your mobile number and you can answer your calls in the Teams client, for example. So all this is about the dynamic sales, and it's very easy to configure. Then, of course, I want to jump into the marketing section.
Schön, dass du bis hierher geschaut hast. Wenn du das Video weiterschauen möchtest, dann melde dich einfach auf unserer Lernplattform M365 Circle an. In der Videobeschreibung findest du den Link, wie du da hinkommst, und du kannst dir natürlich auch für eine unserer weiteren Summits, M365 Summits, ein Ticket holen, kostenfrei, oder du unterstützt uns mit einem Supporter-Ticket. Also klick auf den Link in der Beschreibung und schau dir das vollständige Video an. Wenn du uns weiter noch unterstützen möchtest, dann kannst du auch unseren YouTube-Channel abonnieren und am besten noch die Glocke aktivieren. Und vielen Dank, dass du bei der nächsten Summit auch mit dabei bist.